Good afternoon, guys. Hello again. Just doing a little bit of house cleaning, which is why I'm wearing my baggy clothes. I hope you're having a happy Sunday. So, I was just, you know, when you're cleaning your house and you make the rookie mistake of sitting down for a minute, I got an alert about our favorite Australian commentators. Now, I don't know if you guys remember in the past, I've mentioned that the Australian online tabloid press, because I don't believe this is a real broadcast, this is the online arm of Sky. Of course, it's Murdoch, and Murdoch is trash anyway. Do you guys remember the lady on? I'm facing the screen. Do you remember the lady, this lady in white? I will post the video for those of you who didn't see it. After she humiliated herself on another Australian another Australian network morning show. And this humiliation came when Meghan released her as ever announcement, and a so-called commentator who usually in the past used to give us insider feedback on what was going on in Netflix didn't even know that Netflix had signed a brand partnership with Meghan. And they brought, I personally think those presenters brought her there to humiliate her. Now, if it were me, if I'd been humiliated in that way, I would go away for a bit. Maybe, come back after I've come back to kind of like, call out the fact that, look, okay, maybe I got it wrong that time. And let me see this time, instead of just jumping to say anything and give predictions, maybe I should be a bit more cautious. Not this grifter. I told you these people are failed actresses, racists, people who have realized that the right wing is where you can play on certain types of jealousy and resentment certain women have, and certain men too, for a certain person who doesn't look like them. And when that person is doing well, it triggers them, and they use that for money. And now this clown and her merry band of failed actresses and failed models have decided to come and give us input on Meghan. Now, if you remember from Hugo Vickers and that insane video I posted earlier this morning, the fact that she doesn't stop is what pisses them off. They're probably thinking we have been coming at you for close to a decade. Day in, day out, we talk about you. We've spoiled your reputation online, even though we spoiled your reputation online largely because, let's be fair, a lot of the channels that exist for Meghan are negative. We've created this narrative about you. Why won't you stop? You can tell that pisses them off, that no matter what they do, she keeps coming back. And not only does she come back, she keeps coming back stronger. So what have they decided to do now, guys? Let's have a look.
The reaction on Gogglebox.
Meghan as in Meghan Markle.
That's the one.
I don't like her.
Yeah, is this seriously her house?
Yeah, I assume so.
This isn't my house.
Wait, what?
It's not even her house. It's not her house. Making candles out of beeswax from her own beehives.
It's not her beehive.
And while the candle's set,
Let's go make a beautiful cake.
Oh my God, now she's making a cake.
Hey, what the hell?
see?
Do you know what she's having? She's having a crafternoon.
Do you reckon you'd pay $100 million for this?
That's going to go in all the layers in between.
Oh my God, this girl's exhausting.
Wasn't just here in Australia. Talk TV also waded in with some satire.
Welcome to my beautiful home. What do you mean it's not my fucking home? Every morning I pick beautiful flowers from my beautiful garden and I feed them to my beautiful children. So what if you haven't got a fucking garden? I haven't really got any children. I hate fucking bees. Get me out of this
see this,
bee
guys?
suit now. I've always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it. You know, like my husband. It's so funny that people keep calling me Meghan Markle because it's Meghan Sussex now. It's Meghan fucking Sussex. Meghan fucking Sussex. Meghan fucking Sussex.
Some of this I'm going to have to edit because if you saw my last video, because they are using actual clips from the show, I might get a copyright strike. But I want you to hear what I'm saying. These things don't impact me anymore. Do you know why? Because when you listen to enough of the nonsense, you kind of build a certain type of resistance to it. And this is what I was telling you guys about those of you who shrink away from Meghan scrutiny. Now, let's be clear. Listening to this long enough, you become mentally strong. But the reason why we need to listen to it is so that we can create pages like mine where we not only make these people look very stupid by dragging them, but we kind of counteract the lies. Now, for those of you who do not know, Google Box is something I don't personally enjoy. It's some sort of real life reaction, people's real life reaction to TV. They get some people who want to be on TV, record them at home, and they give different reactions to TV shows. It's supposed to be funny. I don't find it funny, frankly. We have one in the UK here, but to me, it's the same thing as a Netflix reaction show. Sorry, YouTube reaction. So I'm like, I don't see any. And as somebody who doesn't watch TV, I don't care for it. But those types of places, it's very easy for you to nitpick the content that you want, weave it together, and make it sound like as if everybody is hating on Meghan. Really, so I mean, even that is so petty and silly and childish. They found one show, found some predictable trolls, put them together. Then, of course, that other guy, that idiot, Kevin O'Sullivan, who, if you look at his channel on Talk TV, this is literally the only thing he talks about, Duchess Meghan. He doesn't bring any other traffic but to attack Duchess Meghan. So, of course, he's going to troll her. Now, let's hear what these silly women have to say.
Pandora, a bit uncouth, and while things have calmed down somewhat, the commentary continues. It just doesn't seem to be improving.
Yeah, it doesn't. I think she's kind of done a bit of an own goal here. She has to be open to criticism and commentary when she is going to be mixing in Hollywood and Netflix series, unfortunately. And that is just something she's going to have to deal with, and her team are going to have to deal with. She has opened herself up now to verging into the Hollywood era of Meghan, which I think is great. She's not slamming the royal family as she is in this Oprah interview, which we spoken about a few times. So I think she's getting it right. She's on the right track. But unfortunately, how she has been advised, or perhaps the road which she is comfortable going down, is not one which is very relatable to the ordinary person.
So first of all, I know we've had this talking point dispelled normal times. For those of you, again, you know how I tell you guys, these are troll channels. Because if this was supposed to be a balance, I haven't seen the rest of her commentary, but if this was supposed to be a balanced commentary, what they would do is present inspired by Meghan, that hashtag. They would see different women, black women, brown women, white women, men, talking about how there's a guy who actually went viral. Yeah, I think he had like over 11 million views on TikTok, talking about how he recreated Meghan's pasta recipe. They would bring that up. They would bring the fact that Jackie Aina, one of the most influential influencers in the world, a Nigerian lady, she's black girl luxury, posted that very viral video of herself creating, a hamper. And she clearly captioned it after watching one episode of Duchess Meghan. But that's the point. They don't want to show you the people. They don't want to show you the positivity. They focus on the negativity because that is the agenda they are pushing. The reason we keep on having this conversation, guys, is not to trigger anyone. Is to let people know, both people that are new to Sussex Squad, people that are in Sussex Squad, and just random watchers, that these people are pushing an agenda. They are pushing an agenda online. Now, first of all, I don't know why some random reporter thinks she has any type of grounding or standing to give Duchess Meghan advice on what to do in Hollywood. It's the audacity. That's where that racism thing comes up. A bunch of women, I'm sorry to say this, guys, white women, feel they are in any position to advise anyone what to do. This is not your world, Pandora. You are a random commentator from the UK, I think, who earns maybe £30 per appearance to give your opinion. If Meghan was listening to, why the hell should Meghan listen to you? Who are you in the grand scheme of things? So let's ignore whatever nonsense she has to say and see what the others have to say.
As you said last week, Caroline, Is having bees in your garden with a beehive very relatable? No, it's not. Are people going to have the time where they're working mums to be able to create bedside platters almost for their guests if they're lucky enough to have a guest bedroom? No, it's not. So she has to be open to this. But also she did confirm that there is a second series of this. But one thing I would question with that is, was this second series already pre-agreed by Netflix? Or is this just a PR spin to say, oh, because it's been so successful within the first few days, I've guaranteed a new Netflix series on top of this one? I'm not quite sure. I would question that. But what I would say is that we're still speaking about it. So if her PR strategy is, let's get headlines, doesn't matter what they are, well, then she's successful if she can ignore all the negative commentary surrounding that.
I think that's an excellent observation, and I would love to see whether that second series makes it. But one royal observer with a very, very keen eye picked this up.
I nearly lost my name. I mean, there's the loss of identity.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and
It's so
loves
funny,
it.
too, that you keep saying.
I think we all know where this nonsense is going. But let me quickly address the point about the season 2. I want the critical thinkers who are not Meghan haters to just come and think critically. Why would Netflix, we've discussed this before, but like I said, for the benefit of people who may be coming across this video for the first time, why would a company like Netflix, that is notorious for canceling TV series, that is notorious for shelving movies they don't want after spending money, why would they give Meghan a 2-season order up front if they were not sure she was going to generate the MIV? She wasn't going to generate the headlines. I've never heard... Okay, no, that's not true. I know that, well, if they were not sure that she could do it, don't forget that to produce these types of shows that Meghan is on is similar probably to producing something like Love is Blind or Perfect Match. All they have to do is get a location, get some cameras, and put people in front of the camera, let them do the work. It's not an it's compared to Stranger Things and to other productions they do. This is probably quite cheap. I'm very sure they have like a 5-season order ready for Meghan. But of course, because of the PR strategy of let put it out there, and the Pandora lady has actually answered her own question. The reason they are willing to give her so many series is, 1, this is not the most expensive production to do. 2, Meghan has proven time and time again as evidenced here that she is a headline grabber. It doesn't matter what she does. And we've already been through this on this page multiple times. When you are an online business, an e-commerce business, one that relies on online traffic, you don't give a damn what people think. What you want is the headlines. So I think they know that now. So all they have to cling to is for their own engagement is let's talk about the people that have been slamming Meghan. It doesn't matter. She still has her season 2. You're still going to be talking about it when the season 2 comes out. You're still going to be talking about it when As Ever comes out. You're still going to be talking about it when her podcast comes out. You are going to keep on promoting her. So that's why I told you that these guys are stuck in a cycle of giving Meghan free, wonderful PR. It doesn't matter whether they go and get Gogglebox or they get some random clowns from TikTok or that idiot Kevin O'Sullivan. It doesn't matter. The point is people are engaging with Meghan and her content. And it's brilliant, frankly. So even now that I'm giving this recap, I don't feel anything. I just feel predictable nonsense. I just want to look at their faces when they have to talk about the season 2. So yeah, let's continue.
Saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now.
Angela, Meghan's shifted around a lot on focus and narrative. She was
Angela is back. Remember I told you the lady in white has come back to humiliate herself. So you see what's very interesting about this. I'm very curious to see if she will still open her mouth to talk about Meghan's business after she was roundly humiliated on Sunrise TV. But this is obviously her area of this. I'm glad she passed the mic to her on this one. She's clearly gone back to what she's probably more comfortable with, making absolute nonsense up. So let's hear what this name thing. I don't even know why they're still clinging to it. It's kind of like they have nothing else to talk about. So let them cling to the name thing because the name thing brings negative reaction. Oh my goodness, how pathetic.
It's not the first time. We know in the Oprah interview and the Netflix series that she will say things and then they will be fact-checked and they're not accurate. And I think the thing with Meghan is the first person she needs on the payroll is someone to actually fact-check. She will have had creative control over this, and someone needs to be, which is what would happen if she was working under the palace, saying, you said this back in 2022 and now you're saying this now. Now, if you want to have credibility, then you have to be consistent in what your responses are. But the thing about
the audacity of talking about credibility. Angela, you come on these places and you were saying that Harry and Meghan's marriage was in trouble because they had two different events together, and Harry came out and called people like you trolls, and you were coming here with your horse teeth to smile awkwardly, because I'm still looking for that video when they embarrassed her. I can't wait. I will find it and post it again. You were literally brought on Sunrise TV about 3 weeks ago, and they more or less dragged you because you were saying that a current Netflix deal was Meghan's last chance, but you didn't know about the fact that Arrow had been changed to As Ever, and Netflix was now her brand partner, and the With Love Meghan had a 2-season order. So your Netflix insider told you that the Netflix deal was coming to an end. Didn't tell you about season 2, or they didn't tell you about the multiple season order. Didn't tell you about As Ever being Meghan's new replacement name for Arrow and her new business partnership with Netflix. But you are somehow in your mind thinking that you are in any position to question anybody's credibility and authority. The audacity of these people, guys, the absolute audacity.
Meghan is that she's a shapeshifter. She's a hustler. She's always evolving. She's very Hollywood, less royal. So we perhaps need to allow her this. If she's going to be the next Martha Stewart and the next Gwyneth Paltrow, then she is going to, like those two women, be divisive, as Pandora has said. But look, I didn't mind the series. What I mind is when Meghan says one thing and has said the other thing. So that disingenuousness is the issue I have a problem with.
You look stupid, Angela,
Pandora,
by the way.
we know that she's desperate to be part of Hollywood, but even within that industry, celebrity chef Jamison Stocks and journalist and biographer Tina Brown, who's had something to say before, both have had a go.
So now they are using Jameson, that people came out and said, Netflix themselves released a statement saying they never invited him on their show. And again, guys, do you see what these people are doing? Do you see how ridiculous they are? After Jameson, whatever his name is, has been proven to be a bald-faced liar, Netflix came out and said he was lying. He was never invited on the show because they have nothing else. They have nothing else to hold on to. They are basically just trolling her now. Can you imagine? If this was my job, honestly, I'd be deeply embarrassed, frankly.
Oh, haven't they?
Yeah, it's not been great from a commentary perspective. What I would say is there have been a couple of celebrity chefs or well-known chefs who have looked at it, and they're probably looking at it through a chef's eyes. I've got to be completely honest with you. But Meghan has never tried to say that she is a chef. But I do know that it does really rile up chefs when you try and become sort of an influencer around cooking, because you've not had the cooking training to do this. You've not gone through the school. You've not got the grades. So I do understand that, but again, on the same note, is she harming anybody from doing this series? No, it's so light, it's so fluffy, and she's not slamming the royals. So ultimately, in my book, should she be getting the amount of negative commentary that she's getting? No, I don't think it's quite justified. But would I say, could she reel back and get a little bit more, as Angela noted, perhaps a little bit more advice along the way so that she doesn't trip herself as much as she wants to? Because there will be people who will be scrutinising absolutely every single word Meghan says.
People like you.
Trip her up.
People like
and
you.
ultimately, this is a multi-million-pound deal, and I really don't understand how people can sort of commission this and get her to go ahead with it once it's not been really gone over with a fine-tooth comb. It's just baffling to me.
What?
And that's not the end of it either. Angela, a podcast about female founders. What do we know?
That's right. Meghan's got a new podcast. It's every day now we get a new Instagram update, don't we? So this is recollections of a female founder. She's going to be interviewing
No, it's not. It's confessions
women
of a female
who
founder.
are, at the top of their game. Now, there's a two-pronged interest in this. She wanted another podcast series after obviously doing The Archetypes, which was generally regarded as a failure. Look, it got some view. When it started, it was getting 1 million listening figures, but of course, Spotify cast her and Harry adrift.
So let's ask the question, how is that considered a failure? Who said it was a failure? Because the media said it was a failure. The media who have a commitment to see Meghan and Harry fail. These guys are ridiculous. And this is, I don't even have to listen. Do you know what? Let me just
that was a $20 million deal. Now, Lemonada, who is producing this podcast, there is no way that Meghan will be being paid anything like that. In fact, interestingly, this company did one of my favorite podcasts, which is Julia Louise-Dreyfus's Wiser Than Me. So I expect high standards from this, and actually a very good podcast. But I think what's really interesting here is there's a synchronicity finally in Meghan's projects, that the As Ever brand, the Netflix show, and now the female founder, they all relate to each other, they all talk to each other, and we're seeing what we hope to see now is her having some cohesiveness in her working.
Right, okay, so let's summarize. 3 women who have no media experience, who have never in their career signed the type of contracts Meghan has signed with Spotify, Netflix, Lemonada, who know nothing about Meghan's business associations and dealings with these companies, as evidenced with the past video, which I will post because Angela gets destroyed, which was hilarious. They know nothing, but they are sitting down in their $30 appearance fee online channels offering Meghan advice. When I tell you racism is a funny thing, and people will tell me that no, it's not racism. It's not racism. If you don't look, I've always told people this thing, yeah? If you don't like Meghan, you don't have to engage with her content. Don't watch. Don't listen. Why are you giving her advice? I don't think anybody in the media landscape has had to deal with what this woman has gone through. Relentless, continuous, aggressive negativity for almost a decade. There's nothing that she does that's good enough. This thing she did, they are all running back to the Oprah interview now, because when you try and destroy someone and it's not working and you have nothing on them. This is why I told you guys, right? The season 2 announcement has completely removed the air, because by the organized hate campaign that they did, it didn't work. They organized, and that's why they keep on bringing up the negativity. It's not working. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think about Duchess Meghan. By talking about her, you're keeping the engagement going. By keeping the engagement going, she is always going to attract business. She's going to attract brands who want a taste of her SEO, regardless of what it is. Because what they have, I think I keep telling someone that Meghan is a good case study of how you can take negative SEO and positive SEO and use it for business. I really do think that if somebody wants to do a PhD on e-marketing, or even a master or a BSc paper on how to use marketing, to use noise and engagement to create real financial value, Duchess Meghan would be a wonderful case topic, because it's amazing. And I think what they are probably all understanding is a lot of Hollywood is watching Meghan. Yes, because a lot of Hollywood stars get negativity, whether they deserve it or not. But I think by watching how she has still been able to convert all that negativity, which in the past would have destroyed people's careers, they've been able to convert that into real financial value. That's a good lesson for all of us, actually. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick taste of the stupid talking points these women, I'm very disappointed to say they are women, on Australia are saying. And yeah, I would love to get your thoughts down below. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cover some of this to avoid a copyright strike notice, but please bear with me and just enjoy the video. Take care and have a good one. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye.